Welcome to something completely different. I know what y'all are thinking. This sorta just looks like a qualifier tutorial given that there's no other cars on the track and I'm here at Dragon Trail, Seaside. And, well, it's from what I was gonna use for a qualifier tutorial, but, well, this is Group of 3 cars and I ain't the best at these. So if y'all want to know better for Group 3 cars, there's a whole heck of a heap of YouTubers out there who are good in the Group 3 cars, but I'll still use this replay anyway because there's been some times before where people have enjoyed naming corners for tracks. And as far as I know, nobody's done that yet for the new tracks in GT Sport. So, I figured I'd try my hand at naming some corners at the new tracks, and I figured I'd first start out with this here track. So, I guess we'll go ahead and get it started. I'll go ahead and say this now. I don't exactly know in racing what truly counts as a corner or not, because there's some corners at this track that you take full throttle. I'm just going to go ahead and say for those, I ain't going to count those as a corner, because if you take it full throttle, it seems kind of... It doesn't really seem like that much of a corner, really. Like this first little bend here, that's not even really a corner. I ain't going to count that. The only ones I'm going to count are ones I actually have to either slow down for or completely brake for. But anyway, let's get this started, and hopefully y'all enjoy me trying to figure out names for the corners at Dragon Trail, Seaside. But here we go, folks. And this is what I'm talking about here, this first bend here, I ain't counting that as a corner. But for this first actual corner, I'm going to go ahead and call that the Dive Bomb Dungeon of Doom. Because, well, there's a whole heck of a heap of dive bombing here. And, well, it is kind of a dungeon because you get caught in the sand trap. And, well, it is doom because, well, it's doom if you get caught in a sand trap from a dive bomb. And for the next one, coming up here, again, that's sort of full throttle, so I don't really think it's worth counting that one. But for the one after that, I'm gonna call this one the Sand Land, because there's a whole heck of a heap of sand that you can end up landing your car in. If you're not too careful here, if you get on the rumble strips, your car can bump and jump and do a whole heck of a heap of crazy stuff. And you can end up in the sand there, or you can run right and end up in the sand there, or if you're lucky, you run right and just end up in the grass. We make sure you don't want to hit that wall either. But yeah, so that's the Sand Land. And for the next one here, I'll call that the Apex Chicane, because, well, it's the Apex Chicane. You want to get on the Apex, and it's a chicane. Simple as, well, y'all want it to be. Again, I ain't necessarily good at this because this is my first attempt at this. If y'all want to name the corners the way y'all want to and we just sort of come to a general consensus, that's fine. I don't really know how it works getting them officially named, or I don't know, they might actually be officially named. I haven't seen anywhere where it actually has the name of the corners, but anyway, I'll try to name them what I think they should be. And this I'm going to call the Tactical Dive Bomb of Terror. It's pretty much the same as the first turn. There's a whole heck of a heap of dive bombs here, but I think the first turn deserves a more creative name because that first turn can pretty much ruin your race. This one, if you make it to here, the field might be spread out enough where it ain't necessarily going to ruin your race. The first turn, it's almost definitely going to ruin your race because everybody's together. And, well, for the next turn, I think this is probably the most fitting of all. This is honestly why I wanted to do this track. This one is the Chicane of Chaos. Because I'd say every race I've been in, at least one person have at least touched a wall because of this chicane. And I'd say about half the races I've been in, people have downright wrecked because of it. So, yeah, Chicane of Chaos. I think that's definitely fitting for this turn. This is my qualifying lap that's the best one, so I make it look relatively easy here. But trust me, it ain't easy. It's one of the hardest corners in all racing, honestly. I get that wrong, I'd say 50% of the time when I'm pushing the max. And for this final corner, it's pretty much make or break corner. Make or break, turn, whatever. Because if you make it, that's great because you are braking. So make or break. It sort of depends on what you want to do. If you brake hard, you might not make it, but you might gain some time. But if you have a big lead, you just want to make it so you don't brake too hard. So make or brake. And, well, once you're to this point and you're in the lead, you might very well run the race as long as you can get off here and not get in the sand trap. You're pretty cotton picking good. And, well, there you go, folks. That's all of the turns for the track. I'll go through them one more time, and hopefully I even remember what I called them. I hope I do. For this first one, it is the Dive Bomb Dungeon of Doom. For the next one, it is the Dive Bomb Turn of Terror. I think that's right, because it's pretty much the same as the first one there. And for the next one, it's the Apex again, because you're going to want to hit the Apex. For the next one, it's the Tactical Dive Bomb Turn or Corner, or either way. Again, I ain't the most creative, but I think all three of the turns that have dive bomb in the name definitely are dive bombers. For the next one, it's the Chicane of Chaos. That's probably the most fitting of all of them. And finally, it's make or break, because if you make it, you're good, but if you break too late, you probably ain't gonna make it. But anyway, I hope y'all made it through this video pretty cotton picking good. And, well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. And if y'all want to name them whatever y'all want to, put it in the comments or put it on GTPlanet or whatever. And maybe, just maybe, we can come with a general consensus and actually have some official names for this track, if it ain't official already. And as always, yeehaw!